the recent announcement of some new Sonic the Hedgehog LEGO sets, discussion has sparked within the fanbase about how LEGO is handling this property and some of the changes that they can make to make it even better, which is what I want to talk about here today. But before we get into that though, make sure to like and subscribe because we're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers whenever we do that, and the likes really help me on the algorithm. Also make sure to turn on all notifications so you never miss another SanicBoi upload. It's been a bit since I've seen you guys. I know I haven't done a video in a little bit, but I'm back and we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog LEGO, something I actually never really get to talk about outside of building them on live streams. On to the main topic, there were recently some new LEGOs that were revealed by LEGO themselves, one of which was Tails and his Tornado, the one seen in Sonic Unleashed, and one is Shadow with his motorcycle and Doom Wings in a giant mech facing off against a gun robot. Or gun trooper. The official description says gun trooper, but that very clearly looks just like a smaller robot, so we'll go with that. I haven't seen anybody complain about the Tails one, it's just the Shadow one, mainly for the fact that it uses this general philosophy of just not taking from the games, and one that we've actually seen before, which is the mech suit. The reason why everyone brings that up is because it's just kind of silly for a Sonic character to be in a mech suit when just fighting a normal gun soldier, apparently. This is also a thing that has come up before, and it's kind of been a bit of a meme in the Sonic fanbase, which Knuckles had his own mech suit back in like 2024, and everyone was just complaining about that too because like it makes no sense. They could have made something way cooler, which they did end up doing with him and Amy in front of the Master Emerald Shrine, which was actually way better, something that could actually happen in this universe instead of Knuckles just having a random mech. And this is also a problem that you see amongst other sets too, not mechs specifically, that's only happened twice, but just like random stuff, like Team Sonic having a camper. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility, I suppose, but we just never have seen this in the series whatsoever. Like, you never hear Sonic going like, "Hey there, Tails, want to go out camping in the Team Sonic camper?" It never comes up in the comics or anything like that. Sure, characters have gone camping, but then make a set about those characters because that's actually happened before. That's something they've established that they like doing. It just feels kind of random. Sometimes, like I was mentioning with the boat thing too, Tails just like has his own boat with like a spin dash launcher in the middle. Like, you never hear about Tails having a boat. Like, it's very clear that LEGO is just coming up with these things on their own. Now, don't get me wrong, that can be a good thing. I just don't think that they're doing anything interesting with it. Like, you have the entire Sonic universe at your disposal, maybe a couple guidelines from Sega, but you decide to build things like boats and campers and campsites or animal rescue islands. You could be doing things that are so much cooler with these sets, like they did with Super Sonic and Super Shadow versus the BioLizard or the Sonic Racing Crossworlds car, especially Sonic's little one, which is one of like 4 sets which I actually have, or the Cyclone versus Metal Sonic. That's not technically from the games, like those two like entities have never interacted, but here it actually works because, you know, it's the Cyclone. Like, everyone wants to see that. That's their own thing, but still interesting. I'm not saying they haven't done that, it's just like they rarely ever do it. Or they put the egg drill in what appears to be the arc on the box art of one of these things, and you have Super Sonic going up against it. That is cool. You could do your own thing all you want, just make it interesting. That's all I'm asking for. I also think another big problem with them doing their own thing is that it usually results in the sets being like really overpriced, which no one really likes to buy overpriced stuff anymore. Like, BioLizard, worth my money. Death Egg Robot, if I could find it, probably be worth my money. The Egg Driller, probably be worth my money if I could find it. But Sonic at his campsite, which I did actually buy, I wouldn't say it was worth my money. The camper, the island, the mech suits, stuff like that, I just don't think it's worth what they're offering. Especially because with some of these sets, you're looking upwards to like 20 to like all the way up until I've seen like $60 worth of stuff here for just like little bricks that make something that's just kind of okay in the grand scheme of things, and like it's just not fun to pay for stuff like that, you know? I keep mentioning a few of them throughout this area, but you have stuff like the LEGO Idea set. That was cool. You have stuff like Tails' Workshop, which include the original Tornado. That was pretty cool. I like that. The Death Egg Robot, like I mentioned. Shadow's Escape was also a really good one as well. I enjoyed that. In fact, that's one of the first ones I picked up. Knuckles versus the Egg Crusher mech. That's something I didn't even mention too, is the fact that you could also pull from outside of the games too, like with the Egg Crusher, which is something from Sonic Prime. Like, you don't even see that in the main games, even though it's technically based off of the Egg Dragoon from Sonic Unleashed and Generations and so on. But it's very clear that it's its own design, and that's very specifically the one that they used for this set. You know what? I'd be fine with seeing stuff like sets from the movies or sets from the classic games, sets from the comics, stuff like that. That would also be really cool too. They're just not doing that, and I'm not sure if that's a Lego thing or if it's a Sega thing. If it's a Sega thing, I can kind of understand. If it's a Lego thing, what are you guys doing? You just have the oddball ones, like all the Badnik ones alongside Shadow's head, or like the Genesis controller that was marked with the Sonic the Hedgehog logo. I don't know why they did that. And also you got the keychains and the brick heads, or whatever those things are called, you know, just a bunch of things that are just random little things I'm not sure many people want to really pay for. Stuff like the Bio Lizard is what we would pay for. I hate to keep reiterating that throughout this entire video so far, but stuff like that is especially what we want to see. I do still want to go over a few concepts of what maybe I would want to see out of some Sonic Lego sets. Let's say a top 5 or a top 10. We'll go through them now. The gun truck, or specifically a city escape like little area with the gun truck, that would be really cool. Set it like $100 set, have it be like really big, really expansive. That could be really cool with a little Sonic minifigure, and then the big truck that you could just have chasing him. That would be really cool. You could hide a bunch of Easter eggs in that thing. That would be awesome. Metal Madness from Sonic Heroes would also be a really cool one too, to see Supersonic and maybe gold spheres, you know, like the ones like the Spin Dash spheres for Knuckles and Tails, and then the giant Metal Madness build. That would be really cool to see. We know they could do bigger builds with stuff like the Bio Lizard, the Drillster, you know, stuff like that. I am so confident they could do that one. A smaller Crisis City build would also be pretty cool to see. Have Silver maybe fight an Iblis monster, something like that. Maybe a smaller set, maybe no bigger than like the size of my hands or something like that. But you can still probably pack a lot of detail into that. That would be pretty cool. Like a Sonic Riders build where it's like the character's going down a slope or something like that. Or maybe it's like a track that you could just like place them around the track somewhere. That would be pretty cool as well. Maybe include the Extreme Gear boards, have some new prints on the heads with like the Extreme Gear sunglasses and the new designs, stuff like that. I mentioned IDW earlier. You could do something like, you know, the restoration with the Deadly Six outside of that, like they did with this Zeddy Hunt storyline in the IDW comics around issue 40 or so. That would be kind of cool to see. You could just do like the front of the building with like Zavok and the rest of the Deadly Six there, with like Sonic and Tails there to stop them, like that specific comic. I'm not sure which one it was, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about though. You could do another thing like the Lego Idea set and have it be like a Sonic Mania thing, where it's like Studiopolis and then it's just like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Mighty, Ray, and then whoever else you want to put in there as well, just like running along, having this little maybe a background in front of them too. That would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna continue on and on forever because I could probably be here all day, but you see my point, right? Like, they could be doing infinitely more interesting stuff with these characters, and I think they just haven't reached their full potential yet, and it's just something that I'm not even sure if they're willing to even try to reach that potential at all. And that's really disappointing too, because this is like something that I was like so excited for the longest time, ever since I saw that Sonic X Lego Dimensions pack. Like, that thing was so cool back when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and now the fact that we finally have Sonic Lego sets all these years later, like I wanted from that Lego Dimensions set, it's so cool to have that here now, especially for a brand new audience of Sonic fans. But I just don't think they're giving them the best material to work with here. When they get it right, they get it right, but when they do it wrong, the fan base usually just isn't that happy about it. It's just kind of boring, overpriced, whatever you want to say about it. Just the fan base doesn't ever really like it. So this is my plea to you, Lego. Use some more stuff from the games. You could definitely do that. There are so many different set pieces. In fact, I listed a few here that you could easily take. And even if you want to do your own thing, make it interesting like you did with the Cyclone and Metal Sonic. That was a cool set. Do something like, maybe like a bigger Neo Metal Sonic versus like Chaos or Perfect Chaos or something like that. That's another thing you could do, Perfect Chaos. I didn't even think about that. But, or any form of chaos for that matter. But that could be cool too. Just like mix and mash some stuff. Do like a Sonic What If. Like that's essentially what the Cyclone and Metal Sonic thing was. So do whatever you want, just make it interesting. One of the reasons why that LEGO Dimensions thing was so cool is the fact that you could put Sonic in his own world with a bunch of different spots from the games. Green Hill Zone, Sky Sanctuary, icy and desert areas, you know, I think there was a little bit of Hidden Palace in there too, if I can remember correctly, you know, Carnival Night Zone, Seaside Hill, there was a little bit of that in there as well. Like, there's so many different things you could do with this series that, frankly, you could just use that island and have really good sets right there, but there's just so much stuff I could think about them doing that just kind of surprises me that they haven't done it yet, and I'm not sure if they will without proper criticism and us voting with our wallets and not buying the sets that we just genuinely do not like. And I say we here. I know there's a lot of people who do enjoy these sets, and if you do, all the more power to you, and please go out and buy these sets, because the only way we're getting Sonic Legos at all is if they are selling, and I don't want to just not have any Sonic Legos anymore. So obviously, you gotta go out and buy them if you really want them to succeed. But if there's something you just genuinely do not like and you want more interesting sets, I would recommend staying away from the ones that maybe aren't the most interesting, maybe not the most game accurate. Buy the ones that are really cool, more game accurate, and then maybe LEGO will see that maybe those aren't performing so well. We need to do more based on the games. Although, of course, maybe that won't happen, because who knows, right? I'm not even sure whose decision it is. No one actually knows for sure. But maybe something could change. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I want to talk about today. I have no clue of this video's length, just purely basing on my recording time here. But hopefully this ends up being a longer one. I know you guys do enjoy those types of videos, and I really wanted to get this off my chest ever since I saw the new Shadow set. So yeah, you know, I mean, this isn't something that needs to be fixed, because I'm probably never going to buy too many Sonic Legos, but this is still just a problem that I'm like, yeah, I would rather have this fixed than not, you know? Make sure to check out Sonic Saturdays whenever those go live on Sonic Theory's channel, because we talk about really cool stuff over there. I'm not going to have one this Saturday, though, because, well, your boy's got a prom date, so, I mean, gotta get ready for that all day. But next Saturday, we should be having something there. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.